Oh my goodness. What is happening?
I don't know. We're back.
We're back.
2 weeks.
You're back in, well, we only skipped 1 week, but it has been 2 weeks since our last show.
Mm-hmm.
And you're back from Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was not as good of a trip as last time, as far as sourcing wise, but of course I had a good time. I mean, you can't not have a good time when you get to go hang out with friends and source for 4 days straight, right?
I mean, well, okay, you say not as good because, first of all, we do the last part of the show, we get to the whole goals thing, but I'll do a spoiler right now. You wanted to get 1,000 pounds, you got 400.
Mm-hmm. I get about 400 pounds.
And last time you got like 750. But I feel like this time you got the quality of stuff piece for piece was better.
I agree. I think last time I did grab a whole lot of bread and butter stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. This time I really stuck to getting only very good quality items that I could list for $50 or more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there is a difference. I will say the other concern that I had is that last time shipping from Colorado, we're in Nevada and Colorado right next to each other. So shipping was a lot less expensive than it was this time. I think I paid $100 more to ship 400 pounds home than I paid to ship 700 pounds home.
Yeah,
back in January. So that kind of sucks. So, it used to be that it was much, much cheaper to ship here, even just UPS ground, right? Just boxes UPS ground. So I'll do my best. I was able to get a lot of linens, and we're going to be doing some hauls throughout. I'm not going to be sourcing for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll be doing some hauls with that information.
6 to 8 weeks. I'll believe it when I see
it. No,
it.
because we have the remixes in 4 weeks, and we have people visiting before that and after that, and I have so much to do. I also do not have a lister anymore. I did have a lister that was working for me for just under 2 months, but she already quit. So if there is anybody local who is looking for a listing job, please hit me up. I would prefer someone that does have some listing experience. Life easier for both of us. So let me know if anybody's interested.
Speaking of local,
it's Jody.
She wants to know how many amazing items did you find in her size?
Quite a few, Miss Jody. If you do not have your prom dress picked out for the remix yet, I think I may have one for you.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of you, but I thought of you specifically with a couple of dresses that I picked up. So if you don't have yours yet, let me know. Hit me up after the show.
Yeah, has a very good point. Plenty of bread and butter here without paying shipping. I mean, I know because your lister quit like right when you were coming home. Then you were like, so you full of regret that you would be on your trip. But I feel like you still got a lot of really great stuff. You got a ton of linens.
Mm-hmm. Vintage linens.
Of course, we have heard, I haven't been to the bins in a week. Jesse messaged me yesterday, I think, and said that for the last 3 days in a row, they brought linens back to our bins.
Yes, so not just Jesse, Dynasty messaged me too, because they all know. All our friends know that I love the linens bins.
Is the sound wonky? Hold on a second. There's a setting that I can help if this will help at all. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to keep going sourcing and stuff, so that's why I'm kind of making the faces at you, because if I'm going to the bins a few days a week, I feel like in the next couple of months at some point along the way you're gonna be like, okay, I'll come with you. I'm gonna go in the morning.
I might. The thing is that when we go to the bins, I've been going 3 or 4 days a week to keep up with the demand of the lister that I needed, to justify hiring someone that was working that much, and I needed to get enough items. So 3 to 4 days a week, that's 4 hours out of my day, 3 to 4 days a week. I can get a heck of a lot more done just listing myself if I'm not going to be doing that for a few weeks at least.
That's true.
So I do intend to be focusing on the listing. I'm not looking forward to listing clothing. I'm going to say I have not listed an article of clothing. Photographing and listed an article of clothing myself in almost 4 years. I'm really not looking forward to dragging my mannequins out of storage, making sure the lighting is appropriate. I'm a little bit irritated. Yeah,
that sounds better. So that is that.
I do have to say, Aretha Franklin, your name is flippin' hilarious. I'm sorry, that's hysterical.
This picture scares me a little bit.
I think it's hilarious. I love a good play on words.
Yeah, I will definitely. No, okay, so as far as the hauls go, and by the way, I just want to say welcome to everybody who's here for the show today. We did take a week off, so it's been 2 weeks. I had my 5 days in a row that I did videos while Vikki was gone. We are going to be doing hauls because I still have to go and get stuff. And Vicky, you got 400 pounds of stuff. So we're going to continue at the same rate, and we'll get into this more when we get to our goals section of the show. We're still going to be doing all the haul videos. The next video we're going to be doing is us looking at the items the other got for each other while we were apart. And then we'll be doing hauls. Like I said, I'm going to be going tomorrow to get stuff. We'll make a haul video off of that. So there'll be plenty of hauls. It'll just be like my bins finds here versus Vicky's.
You'll slowly be seeing
stuff.
like Colorado stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I was doing last time. I made it last several months last time. I was opening up a different box every Sunday.
Yeah. So
it was like rediscovering it all over again.
Yep. So there'll be plenty of stuff. But
I will say I did already process about 300 pounds, no, over 200 pounds of the stuff I did already process as far as cleaning, sorting, folding, and putting aside for me to photograph.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, I did put about the additional, 150 pounds or so in some totes to go over after I get the other stuff done. Because it's super overwhelming. We all have a death pile of some sort, and this is not considered a death pile. It's just brand new inventory. But there's so much of it that it becomes overwhelming if I let it just take up the whole space for, weeks or months at a time. I need to have it in bites.
Absolutely. But welcome to the show, guys, and welcome especially, as well, to everybody who's here because you came over from watching us with Rally Roots and with Mikey. And a couple weeks ago, we had done a couple of videos with Rally Roots, and you were supposed to come to our channel and comment on who did the best in the thrift haul at the bins. And we were going to give away a $25 gift card. We're actually going to be choosing the winner today. We're going to randomly pick somebody who commented from that video for a $25 eBay gift card. It'll just be like a virtual one. So we'll announce the winner today, and then we'll just need that person to get in touch with us. But we'll do that later on in the show. Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, I'm feeling I had a migraine today. I still am having it right now. So it could affect like the way I speak because sometimes it makes my ability to find words a little wonky. She sounds a
little dumb sometimes when she has a migraine. It's okay.
It's true.
The brain doesn't work well.
But also, it's been a rough week. Grizz has been having some issues, and she basically earlier this week, when Vicky came home, the night I brought Vicky home from the airport, the dogs were really excited. She sat down on the couch, and Ripley and Grizz both tried to jump up at the same time, and Grizz, being the old lady, got knocked on her butt and pretty much like almost did the splits with her hind legs, and she screamed and was struggling to get up. And so I was just like in a panic, and I went and scooped her up right away, and she was like yowling in my arms. And so then we were like trying to figure out where to take her because our vet was closing in like 10 minutes. And so while we were trying to figure out where we were going to take her,
she struggled to get down.
Well, her tail started wagging, and I put her down on the ground, and she was like totally fine. She was acting like she was totally fine. And I was like, weird, maybe it just hurt her. Because a similar thing had happened with Luna like last year, where she had again tried to jump on the couch, fell on her head and screamed, and we were pretty sure she was going to die. Like we were like, oh my God, she broke her back or something. And she was fine. And so Grizz was totally fine, acted normal all the next day, the day after that. And then it was like 2 nights later, I took the dogs outside to go to the bathroom, and from one side of the yard, I heard, it sounded really far away. I heard this kind of yowling sound, and I came over, and Grizz was lying on the ground, struggling to get up. And so I was just freaking out. Like I was bawling. I was sure there was something horribly wrong with her.
Sure there was something neurological, or she was paralyzed, or God, this is the death knoll.
But again, like I stood her up, and she was sort of okay. And so the next morning we took her to the vet, and he like went over every inch of her body, and really like kind of manipulated every joint, everything, checked all her reflexes, and got to her hips and like really stretched her legs back, which was pretty upsetting because it made her cry. And so basically, long story short, they think it's
long story long, Katie. You don't
how
know
dare
how to do
you?
A short story.
Well, it's a big story. So he's pretty sure it's just soft tissue damage. She just had hurt herself. But while they're there, they did like a whole blood panel, all the stuff for old lady.
Full body X-ray, echocardiogram.
And it might end up being a blessing in disguise because he discovered she has a slight heart murmur, and her heart is a little bit enlarged. And so she's going to be going on heart medication, and we have to keep her kind of confined for like a good week and a half because of her injury, which is tough because she's acting somewhat normal now, and she does not like being confined, and she's having to sleep in a crate at night, and she's not happy about it.
We do have both. I'm looking at Kathy's comment there. We do have both steps and a ramp. If you have hyper little dogs, damned if I know how to get them to use either one of those things, because they just refuse. We've tried since they were puppies with all of them. Well, at least with Luna and Ripley, I have tried since they were both tiny puppies. And they have zero. They walk around them. They jump over them. They don't give a shit. They don't even care. It's so hard, even trying to train them one step at a time or one boop up the ramp at a time with treats and things. Well, I mean, we're going to work on it. But right now, it's just both of the dogs are in rough health right now. Grizz is going to be okay. She just needs to be restricted. And it's like an old lady that sprained her hip. That's all I
have to keep her away from anything that she can attempt to jump up on. And so, cause it's just not,
I mean, if you have animals, and I know a lot of you guys do, dogs, cats, whatever, they end up being our babies, we know. And
Grizz, I've had her for 12 years now. Her gotcha day was just the other day. And so she's been there with me through everything. So she's like my special baby. Like I've had her longer than I've had any other pet, and she's always been just mine. And so it's just really upsetting to kind of see her in any way out of sorts, in pain or distressed. It's really upsetting to me. So, it sucks. But anyway, hopefully she's going to be fine. So it's just been a stressful week, and probably part of why I got a migraine today. But it is what it is. So let's get into the show.
The other good thing I just wanted to say for those of you that were concerned, first of all, thank you for responding and making the comments, and everybody that commented on Facebook and everything. Grizz is going to be okay. She is an old lady that's anywhere between 14 and 16 years old. And honestly, she's in perfect health, except she just strained her back legs.
She's got a little bit of a heart issue, which is, like I said, it's a good thing because now she gets to be on the medication that's supposed to do wonders. And hopefully that's actually going to end up helping her to live a longer and happier life. So, it is what it is. But, okay, so let's get into our show. We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we're going to look at our real numbers for the last week, our gross numbers across all the platforms we sell on, which mine's like, I got like 6 platforms now. I have more platforms than you. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm slacking. Lori said she thought you had to put me in a crate. Sorry, that was funny.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Middle part of our show, we look at our sales highlights for the last week, some of the cool stuff that we sold. Hopefully some things that you've seen recently in some of our hauls. And then the last part of our show, we look at our goals, the goals we set last week or the week before that, how we did with completing them, and then what we want to try and accomplish this next week. I think it's a really important part of the show, and we definitely encourage you guys to join in with us and set goals for yourself. It's just a way to be held accountable. And, it's kind of one of those things, you speak it out into the universe, and it makes you more likely to actually accomplish it.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's go ahead and look at our numbers. We'll look at mine first as per usual. Let's see. All right, I think I did all right. I think eBay's doing all right. It's definitely still slow. I think yesterday I didn't have any sales on eBay. And today, so far, no sales on eBay, which is a real bummer. Etsy has been doing pretty good for my Etsy. So I got 20 eBay orders, 10 Etsy, 3 Poshmark, 3 between Grilled, Mercari, and Depop. None of those were Depop. No private sales, so a total of 36 outgoing orders. eBay, at least I'm over 1,000, $1,229.59. Etsy, $672.70, which is pretty decent for Etsy.
That's a good week for Etsy. Yeah.
Poshmark, $180, and then between Grilled and Mercari, $194, and again, nothing private. So total gross sales, $2,276.29. I'd love to be able to hit 3,000. It's been a while since that's happened, but at least it's over 2,000. Shipping, $157.01, and you can see the breakdown in fees there. Cost of goods, $130. Total net sales, $1,722.58. My gross average sale price, $63.23. I'm loving that. I love being able to hit 60. Net average sale price, $47.85.
Now, look at what going to the bins has done for your cost of goods.
Very true.
First of all, your sales have increased and your cost of goods have gone down. I'm not saying your sales have increased because you're going to the bins. However, I think being able to provide things at more reasonable prices right now in this market works both ways. Being able to purchase them and sell them.
Sure.
if you paid $40 for something, you're not going to sell it for 50 or 60, right? So, but if you pay $1, you might sell it for 40.
I will say I'm still pricing my stuff the same way, but I have lower price items because I'm picking up lower price stuff because I'm paying so little.
But you're also more willing to accept. You're also
True.
more willing to accept a lower offer on
True.
something you have next to nothing invested in. There's
a
difference.
That is very true. Also, we put ourselves through torture yesterday and did our taxes. And let me tell you, I forgot. I was looking back and I'm like, man, I complained about eBay this year. Last year, my eBay was terrible. I'm definitely better this year. Last year, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't even know how I paid the bills. But
your sugar mama.
And I don't know about that. I pay half the bills just like you do. All right, next up for you.
Okay, so this was a pretty good week considering I did not list the entire time I was gone. I did have drafts in my bank, but I brought my Chromebook, which sucks for listing. So I will say I didn't list for 5 days. So pretty good. 44 sales on eBay, 4 on Etsy, 15 on Poshmark, 7 on Mercari, 1 private sale for a total of 71 orders for the week. Just over $2,000 on eBay, which was a little bit low, but $283 on Etsy, also low. Poshmark back up to where it should be, $584. Mercari $214, and I had 1 private sale for $35 through a post I made on Facebook yesterday. I sold something to a friend. $31.23 total. My shipping was $307, and then you see the breakdown of the fees. My cost of goods always relatively low at $165. So my total net sales $22.36 and change. My gross average sale price is a little bit lower. I did have quite a few smaller sales. I'm really just trying to move inventory faster, so I'm accepting lower prices. And my gross average sale price is $31.49. I do like to keep my ASP between 50 and 60, and it usually is. It fell below 50 this week.
Very good, very good. I see Lady Luckjunk, Danica in the chat. Danica, did you see? Have you talked to Allison? She's coming to the remix.
Allison bought her ticket.
We're very excited. We were so excited when we saw she bought her ticket. So any of you guys who haven't are still on the fence, you better get your remix ticket. Time is ticking down. We're down to like 30 days or just under 30 days.
Just under 30 days.
So
I want to see you guys all at the remix. We're all super excited. Just in case anyone does not know, the Boss Reseller Remix there is a link down below underneath the show. It is a conference that Katie, myself, and our friend Teresa Cox, T-Money, put on annually. This is our 3rd year. It's here in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale now, and it is a 3-day reseller conference, 3.5-day really. And it's a day of learning and expansion. All of our speakers, as well as the full schedule, is listed on the website, resellerremix.com. Go check it out, especially if you live here or live close to here. It is definitely well worth traveling for. So we're excited to see all of our friends and stranger friends.
Absolutely. All right, let's jump right into looking at what we sold. Now, we went back over the last 2 weeks, or at least I did, because we didn't have a show last week. So what'd you sell? What's this? What's going on?
So this I talk about all the time. I do always talk about and always pick up these vintage, modest flannel nightgowns, Lands of Salzburg. If you scroll down to show the tag for the new people here in the chat,
listed very long.
This was listed a day. I had it listed for 24 hours, and I think it was because of the size. It's a really big size. These modest nightgowns sell for very, very good money, and it's specifically this brand. It sold for $60. I picked it up at the bins. It is heavy because it's flannel, so I did probably pay close to $2 for it, but $2 into $60 in less than 12 hours, I'll take that all day long.
Very nice, very nice. All right, first up for me, now this isn't a huge sale, but this is one I picked up at the bins last week. And I actually wasn't sure if I was going to buy it. It had the biggest, darkest stains, like a huge circle here, a huge circle. It was so dark that I'm like, this isn't probably not going to come out. Maybe it'll wash out a little bit, but I really wasn't feeling very confident that it was going to come out. And I washed it, and then it went through, I bleached it, and then I washed it again, and it looked great. I listed it, and within a day, it sold for $48.99. Just a really cool. I like these shirts that are like from like other countries.
You like all the weird ones.
Yeah, but
anything that has animals on it.
It's got the little reindeers on it, and it's Finland. I mean, come on, it's not like it's not a shirt you could just get around here anywhere, you know?
No.
So I thought it was pretty cool, but I was very, very happy to see how clean it came, and I got rid of the stain. All right, next up for you.
This is another point for me, like why I talk about why I love the linens at the bins. This is just a fabric panel that someone had sewed down to maybe make a pocket curtain with, maybe not. It is just one piece of fabric that I paid probably 75 cents for at the bins. It was listed for less than a month. It's just a real old vintage Disney piece of fabric, and the only reason why I knew it wasn't bootleg, well, first of all, when you know vintage fabrics, you know vintage fabrics, you can tell by the way it feels. But I knew it wasn't bootleg or anything like that because of the it does have Walt Disney Productions on it. So I mean, I had it listed for a very short period of time. Again, this was maybe listed for a couple of weeks. It sold for $64 on sale.
That's awesome. Plus shipping.
Plus shipping, yeah.
Sandy, we're gonna do a video of us showing each other the stuff that we got for each other while Vicky was in Colorado.
Yeah, I want to see Katie's. You guys all want to see Katie's reactions to what I purchased for her, which I got her quite a few things, probably like 15, 20 items while I was there in Colorado. And then you want to see my reaction to the things that she purchased for me that I know she's already shown on video, but you don't know what I think about them.
Yep, indeed. Okay. Next up for me, okay, I picked this, speaking of buying things not in the best condition at the bins. I grabbed this at the bins and it is flippin' destroyed. Look, you can see in my condition description it says worn and faded, destroyed, holes, discolored. I mean, this thing is like, look at it. It's just falling apart. You can see like there's holes in the front of it.
I like it.
Look at the sleeves.
Oh, that looks like the most comfortable sweatshirt to wear around the house in the winter when it's cold and damp.
Yep, it was just absolutely.
Not that it gets damp here.
Well,
but.
And I will say it had some staining on the front of it, and I was able to get it clean. So, but it's just so worn and faded, and like look at the collar. Look at that; it's like all separated.
I love it.
So
I would wear the heck out of that. I have a sweatshirt like this that I wear, but I don't wear it out in public.
Yeah, so I had this for probably a little over a month, and I think I went back and forth with someone, and I ended up selling it for $50. So yeah, I always talk about how like I have my different price points. The $69.99 price point, I always know in the back of my head that at least for the first few months I have it, $50 is like my bottom price. So I got $50 for it, and I paid like what, maybe $2. This is maybe a pound, but yeah, I was
Jen says it looks like you were in my closet. Yeah, I love the faded, worn out, oversized sweatshirts. That's what I love to hang out in the winter at home. I don't wear it in person, out in public. I'm a little too, I don't know, high maintenance for that. But I like them at home.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, and we've got Joe from I'd Flip That. By the way, guys, if you are not subscribed to that channel, the I'd Flip That channel, Joe and Nicole do the Reseller Showdown game show. Katie and I were on last week.
I was robbed.
It was a lot of fun, and it's really silly, and it's very creative. And if you are coming to the Boss Reseller Remix, you get to see it in person and participate, because they will be doing it every day at the Remix as part of one of our presentations and for fun. And so I'm super excited. They're very creative, and I think it's one of the most interesting YouTube channels out there. We all kind of do the same thing, right? And there's so many YouTube creators and content creators. Nobody's reinventing the wheel for the most part. But what they do is something entirely different, and I think it's hilarious and a lot of fun. So if you are not following,
to the Remix,
please follow them, sub them up. It's very different than the rest of the content that's out there, and that's what I love about it.
Speaking of Joes we love, Robin is here and is saying hi from Dreamy Eyed Joe. You just get lost in his eyes, you guys. That's how blue they are. So undercover yard sale, I couldn't answer this question because I don't end listings on List Perfectly. They want to know how we're able to keep sold on
I can't answer that listing either because I constantly delist and relist items on platforms. My List Perfectly catalog is not synced. I end everything individually, and I don't put sold. I just delete it on List Perfectly when it is sold. So I'm sorry. I don't. If someone else in the chat has a way to answer that, please do. I love List Perfectly for cross posting and everything that I use it for. I know that it does a million more things than what I use it for. Same for Katie.
I don't even put listings in my List Perfectly catalog. So
it has so many different uses and ways for it to be used. You really it's your best to figure out what works best for you and your business. That's what's nice about it. You can kind of customize it to do what you want it to do.
Yep. All right, what do you got here?
So these I picked up the bins. This is another within 24-hour sale. I picked these up at the bins, so I probably paid $3 to $4 for them. I think they weighed a little over a pound. Scuffed front. We all know Birkenstocks sell good, and whether they're used or not. These are the kind that had like the sheepskin and the slip-on Birky clogs. Yeah, they sold for $79.95 plus shipping within
Very
like
nice.
12 hours.
Wow. All right. Next up, another bins buy for me. So this is a hoodie, and this is H&M, guys. So here's the thing.
Did I hand that one to you? I think
No,
I
you
have.
did not. No, you did not. Do not pat yourself on the back, lady, for things you have nothing to do with.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you hand me stuff, but no, this is not one of them. Anyway, I grabbed this, and it's H&M, so it's like it's not vintage. It's, you know, something that potentially there were a million of them out there, but I actually couldn't find any others that were this exact same design. There's a ton of Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff out there. So I priced it high, and honestly, it's only been listed for like a little over a month, and so I think somebody sent me an offer for $68. And again, my price point's $97.99.
It wasn't 68 new at H&M.
No, but you can't get it anywhere now. So my $97.99 price point, my bottom number in my mind is 65, and that's what I do. That's the number I send out when I send offers to buyers. And so when somebody sent me an offer for 68, I was like, of course. I only paid like
of course
$250 for this thing at the bins. But how awesome is it? I love it. It's got great graphics. I like the layout of it. $68, you guys. Not vintage. It's from freaking H&M, but it's a nice quality sweatshirt. So
It is. You know what? It's funny that you say that, because I'm going to tell you, for those of us that are bin shoppers, and well, even if you're a thrift shopper in general, when you're going through the way that I tell a lot of people to do, when you're going through and feeling clothing by racks or in the bins to try and feel quality usually equals vintage. Not always, but it's a good indicator of vintage and things that are well made, quality or designer. H&M is one of the ones that I am always fooled by. Like literally always fooled by. I'll pull something up and I'll be like, oh shit, it's just H&M. But it always feels nice.
Well, and nowadays, like current sweatshirts and hoodies, a lot of them are made with really gross feeling fabric. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if you can find one that's good quality, it's like, who cares if it's vintage or not?
Barbara says just a jump to the left.
Uh-huh.
And a skip to the right.
It's true. All right, go ahead.
This was a bins find. And I found this when we were with Ryan and Allie a couple weeks ago. So I paid less than $1 because it's very lightweight. It probably weighs about 6 ounces. So it's a vintage Jam's World dress. It's not even a super exciting print, in my opinion. Some of them can go for great money. The bolder, brighter the print, the better. The bigger the size, the better, because a lot of them you find are small sizes, and they'll sell, but they do take a little longer to sell. But if you find something large or extra large and it's super bright, bold print, it's going to sell that much faster. Show that tag again right there. So that tag is the 80s to 90s Jam's World tag. That's the most colorful, best tag that you want to find. If there is still a tag, another tag, the paper tag, inside the outfit, the dress, the shorts, the shirt, whatever it may be, it's going to have the name of the pattern on it. It's printed right on it. This particular one did not have that tag, but just to let you know where to look for the name of it. Anyway, this was another one that was listed and sold overnight, $79.95.
Do you want to talk about the tragedy that you were forced to endure when you saw that post of those Jam's World shorts on the Facebook?
There's a couple of, well, I belong to a handful of vintage Facebook groups, buy, sell groups. Somebody sold an early pair of Jam's World Jams shorts for $40 shipped. And I didn't find it until after it was. I missed it by a few hours, and they would sell for between $200 and $300 easily.
Yeah, they were really awesome shorts.
Of the early line, they were super bright and bold. I don't know why people don't do comps. Some of these groups that I'm in, they're fantastic to buy and sell, and I'm not going to name any groups, but the reason why I'm in them is because so many people don't know what they have, and I can scoop and buy things. But also, the people that are doing the in search of posts, oh, I need 10 items that are true vintage 1970s that look like something Stevie Nicks would wear, and my budget is $10 shipped. I'm like, go fuck yourself. If I had that merchandise, you would not be getting it for $10 shipped. These people are like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I digress. You had to put me on a tangent.
Sorry.
I missed out.
Sorry, I didn't know it was going to make you go crazy. Guys, remember this? I picked this up when this was for the first day that we went to the bins with Ryan and Allie. and I was so excited because I found a hypercolor item, and I never find hypercolor out in the wild. And I was pleasantly surprised when I got home to find out that it still worked. Like it wasn't as sensitive as like some of the old, like the original hypercolor was, like before it had been washed 500 million times. Like I couldn't just put my hand on it and have it be like a super bright transition, but I just breathed on it like right here, and it made this big white or big pink, bright pink spot, and then it fades away eventually. So I was pretty excited that it actually still worked. So there's quite a bit of hypercolor stuff listed, and
most of it doesn't work anymore though.
Somebody offered me $70, and I went ahead and took it. I probably, if I would have waited longer, I may have been able to get my full price here. But honestly, like by looking at all the comps, and there were quite a bit of comps to look at, I wasn't going to be missing out on a lot. And I was like, I'd rather flip it quick. $70 after I paid like $2, and they already left positive feedback. They were very happy with their purchase, so it was an awesome deal. Love me some hypercolor. What you got here?
This is another set of something that sold within the same day. I don't know what it is, but maybe I'm just pricing stuff better, or maybe that is just what is being seen in search, because we all know eBay's search is jacked up. But in any case, this is a bins buy. I bought these when Ryan and Allie were here. I'm pretty sure I may have shown these in a haul video at some time or another. I either bought them when they were here, or I bought them the week before. Either way, it doesn't matter. They were photographed and listed within a week. I probably paid $4 for them because they're a little over 2 pounds. And listed, customer asked me a question if I could ship the next day, and the answer was yes, because I always ship next business day. And they sold immediately for $89.95.
Nice.
And they're not the super old ones. Like, I love Zodiac shoes. Zodiac shoes go back all the way to the 60s. 60s and 70s are the most desirable, but they also still sell shoes, and they have not changed their logo or their label very much at all. So it's very hard to differentiate sometimes what decade these are from. The fact that these are made in China and that they have that thicker, chunky heel and the, slightly rounded square toe was all 90s to me. So that's why I just said they're 90s. They're like 90s does 70s on these. So
very nice. All right, next up for me, I bought this the same day I got the hypercolor t-shirt.
I like this shirt.
And I got this, I actually showed this in the video of the haul that day, because this is when we went to yesterday's fits.
And you didn't pick this as your... What? You didn't pick this as your...
No, that was from a different day. Different
okay.
day. This is the first day we went out. We did the challenge the last day.
Gotcha.
Anyway, and this was not a bins find. So I got to see yesterday's fits. Jesse had all of that true vintage stuff that he had set back in the back corner. And I went through and grabbed like 4, 5, 6 pieces. So he sold this to me for like $10. And I listed it, and it sold within a couple of days for the full flipping price, guys. I sold this for $97.99. This awesome. I love the rainbow. It's just
like a catamaran, or yeah.
It's
pretty cool.
A Hobie cat, and I just love the rainbow kind of racing stripe thing going on. It's just a really cool shirt in great condition and a good size for being from the 80s. But again, sold it for $97.99 within a couple of days. This is the kind of shirt that I feel like some of those t-shirt bros in the Facebook groups would be like, yeah, it's worth like $15.
Well, they don't know what you know.
Or they're just not willing to try different stuff out.
A lot of the t-shirt bros, and not to throw shade, because you know what, good for them for a hustle to try and learn something, to do something they like to do. But a lot of them are a lot younger, and they're focused on hype only, and they just do not know about.
Well, that's the only market that they're looking at. So they're only looking at that market. Whereas
it's the same reason
the
why
guy who bought this for $100 is not part of the t-shirt bro culture.
Right. And the people that, the same bros, they don't sell what I sell, but I run circles around them in sales prices, and they'll just throw aside the stuff that I buy. So everybody's got their niche of knowledge, really.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Next up for you. Ooh.
This was a bins buy, because that's all my buys lately. So this was a bins buy as well. This wasn't listed very long, maybe 2 or 3 weeks at best. And this sold for $104, the price you see there. It's Scully. Scully's always a brand to pick up. Now, that being said, not all Scully is desirable. Some of it's very basic looking and doesn't
Nothing
sell
basic
as well.
about this.
This is like this was a pretty cool, like, yeah, Barbie core type of, I know it's Western, but this is like Western Barbie, very showy, over the top. And this is a women's shirt. And it just had all that little fringe. The fringe was a little bit tangled and I had to trim it, but I don't think it looks bad, and it came out, it looked great. It had a couple of stains on it too. This is the one that had some yellow stains. I was able to get the yellow stains out, and it's in great condition, and yeah, it sold fairly quickly.
Love it. Love it.
It's a pretty cool one.
Speaking of Western.
Oh, here we go.
I sold my Pioneer Wear, a Western blazer that I got like a month or so ago. And I sold it, negotiated to $100, sold it for $100, and I was very happy about that. It's Pioneer Wear. I will say I got a message from the guy today saying that apparently there's a stain on one of the sleeves, and then he tried to say that I staged it in a way where you couldn't see it, and I'm like, well, I didn't see it. And I told him, I'm like, I have plenty of items listed in my store that have flaws and stains, and I always point them out. So I asked him for a picture, and that has not happened yet. So I don't know if the picture's actually coming or if they're going to be fishing for a partial refund or what.
Return for in full.
I know, but there's been so many returns lately.
You'll sell it.
Anyway, yeah. So, and he kept trying to give me less than 100, so that's why I kind of think maybe it could have something to do with that, but we'll see. Or maybe there is a stain I didn't see. I really didn't think so.
Well, it's kind of a bright, not bright. It's the type of pattern that hides that kind of stuff well. So,
yeah.
Honestly, worst case scenario, because of the material that is made for these, all he has to do is put a little cleaner on a toothbrush and scrub the stain out and let it air dry, and it will come out. I guarantee, unless it's like blood or something. Anyway, so I just want to say Guitar Missy says, I guess you gals are into football. No, we don't do sportsing, don't care to. And honestly, I would not even be in a relationship with somebody that was into sports because I hate them so much.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure
I have never dated anybody that's into sports or video games for that reason.
So you would have ended it?
No, I wouldn't have dated you in the first place.
But I'm into stuff you're not into.
True, but people that are into, like, super into sports or super into video games, it's a whole different breed, and it's not my thing.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, next up, what you got?
This is one of those things that it's just a really pretty blazer. This was a bins find. I paid $2 or $3 for it. This was listed less than a month as well, and it's less about the brand than it is about the design. It's just this really, really pretty velvet blazer with this fat ribbon tie, with this ruffle. It's got these kimono sleeves. Anyway, it's just beautiful. And I would have worn that if this actually fit me. It's a little too tight. I don't know where I would have worn it, but I would have found somewhere. It's really pretty.
You can wear it wherever you want.
So if you looked up this brand, Joolay or Julie, Joolay, if you looked the brand up, most of this stuff doesn't sell for a ton of money. Like I said, it's not really about the brand. It was more about this, the fact that it was just a really pretty style.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I would say it's like vintage, like late 90s, early 2000s.
Very cool. All right, next up. Now, this is not a huge sale, but I like showing the stuff that I bought at the bins that I used to not even look at, that was not in my what's the word I'm looking for?
Wheelhouse.
In my wheelhouse or whatever. This I had grabbed just because I thought it looked cool. I liked the design on it. I thought it was pretty. And I actually sold this to somebody who bought a t-shirt too. So they bought this and then a t-shirt. So their order was actually over $100.
Cute.
But I mean, I paid like maybe $1 for this and sold it for $32.39. It's just a cool little Catalina Island tote bag. Maybe I should have saved it for when we go there this next year, but yeah, I'll make some money off of it.
We're going to Catalina Island. Oh yeah, when we're doing our reseller cruise.
Yep.
In May.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
I bought this just when we were in California. We went to the bins one day in California with our friend Deb. When we were out for, we went there for the Jinx Monsoon show in LA last month. And sorry, these photos, they're a little bit blown out. But it's a navy blue dress, and I picked it up at the bins. It was under £1.
Is this your first sale from that bins?
I didn't buy a ton from there. It might
You
be.
bought a good amount of stuff.
It might be. So I'm interested. Like, I love this brand. This brand, Collective London. Actually, I own clothing from that. It's a brand kind of like ModCloth and pinup girl clothing that kind of cater to a certain aesthetic by decades. Like, they do like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, kind of like vintage inspired or retro clothing. And this is one. This was a dress that was unworn, no tags, and it was beautiful. And it sold very quickly. It sold within a week or so for $103, $104. So
Very nice. Very nice. All right, guys, check it out. I wanted to be just like Vic. I've sold Orvis stuff in the past, but I just know that Vicky had lately, in the last few months, I think you've sold a couple of things, or you've at least
I've
shown
bought them.
You bought a couple of things.
I haven't sold them yet.
Anyway, I found this at the bins. It's a nice heavy wool shacket. It's not lined or anything.
Oh, that's a long one though.
It's so heavy that it's like nobody's wearing this as just a regular shirt. You would definitely have something on underneath it. But it's got the nice corduroy collar. And
it's scratchy, so you definitely want to wear something under it.
Well, and what's nice is, so this had like a little bit of schmutz on it, and I just, I went ahead and bought it anyway, because I'm like, how am I going to wash this thing? I'm not going to be able to wash it. But I think somebody in the chat said something about telling the guy who bought the jacket to use a baby wipe. That's exactly what I did with this jacket. I just used we use the unscented baby wipes. It's pretty much mostly just water. And I just used that to wipe the spot. And then I took like a rough brush. We have like a brush that we use.
Suede brush. It's a suede brush.
Yeah, it's a suede brush. And I just used that and kind of brushed it too. Because a lot of times that'll loosen up any kind of dirt or something that's on suede, or in this case wool, and take it off. Because it's not really stained. It's just basically on the surface.
Yeah, it brings the nap back on both wool and suede. If you don't have one of those brushes, I highly suggest picking one up.
Yeah, and then it was like brand new, and so I sold this for $89.99, and I was pretty excited about it. This might have actually gone international too. I believe it did. So they paid like an extra $25 to have it shipped. So I was very, very happy about that. I will say my international sales on eBay have pretty much completely disappeared.
They've tanked
since they've changed. I mean, I do think part of it is because of the changes that they've made in the EU as far as like how they're taxing
and
them.
everything.
So I do think that's part of it. But
I also
still
don't
selling
think
stuff internationally on Etsy.
Agree. I don't think that eBay is showing as many of our sales internationally.
Yeah,
I will say that I've actually changed mine to eBay international shipping on eBay, which I'm going to say I don't like. I feel like I was forced to do it because I have items that are over £1, and my shipping will look real out of whack if I'm shipping it myself because they're passing along the shipping discount, which I was not. So I did change them, and I have had some international sales, but nowhere near as much as I used to have.
Yeah.
So,
Lori, so the brush, the one that we have, it's like one side is like this hard plastic nubs on the brush, and the other side has like
rubber.
The wire.
It's rubber.
Sorry, rubber. But it's pretty stiff, and I actually only use the rubber side, and it works just fine. And then the other side is actually like a wire brush, and it's pretty hardcore, but it works really well. Anyway, I was happy for the sale. Next up for you.
This was a dress. I'm hard pressed to remember where I got it. I did not have it that long. I've had it for less than 4 months or so. But this was, I don't remember if this was a bins find or if this was an estate sale find. I definitely didn't buy it at a store. I have not shopped in a store, a thrift store, for many, many months at this point. But it was this beautiful patio dress. Patio dress is basically something that is the big hoop skirt type of, full skirt. Anyway, it's just, I love this dress so much, but of course it's tiny. Vintage 1950s. It did sell on offer. I did take an offer for $90 on this, and it's not reflected in that sale price, but it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous dress. I do wish that it was a larger size. I think it would have sold faster. It's one of my favorite pickups in a long time. Just personally, style-wise, I loved it. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, going back to international sales, it sucks because they used to be like 20% of my sales, and I had the best sales when I had international sales. So it sucks that eBay, I do think it's more eBay than it is the market, because like everybody's saying, it's still happening on Etsy. So I feel like whatever, I don't understand how it services eBay to make it harder for people to buy internationally, but
Yeah, Crystal says if it was a larger size, that would have sold to me. Same girl. If I could have fit my fat body in it, I love that dress so much.
So here's a sale that's like kind of mind-boggling. I don't remember why I had priced it so high originally. It's been relisted on eBay and on other platforms for cheaper.
That's funny.
But I had listed it pretty high originally, and it sold for $89.99. But not only did it sell for $89.99, it also went to the Netherlands. So they paid $89.99 plus $25 for shipping, plus they paid the tax. It ended up being like, I don't know, $140 they spent to get this t-shirt. I think it's a funny shirt. It's like I said, international sales. Sometimes it's mind-boggling what you sell stuff for. But it's a really cool shirt, and it's like in brand new condition. So, and I like thinking of a dude in the Netherlands walking around with this t-shirt on.
It looks like Far Side as far as the.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
All right, next up for you.
This was a bins find as well. This is another reason why I love the linens bins. The linens bins also have hats, bags, handbags, belts, scarves, ties. That's how they do it here in Vegas. So this was listed for maybe a week or so. And I took an offer for $125 on this. There is some damage. It's not in perfect condition. I think if it were in better condition, I would have priced it higher. But I was pretty happy to flip it from $2 to $125 in less than a week. It is one of the smaller sized bags. But again, I've talked about this before. Coach bags that are most desirable are the all leather. They are prior to the year 2000. Those are the bags that are the most desirable, and this is one of them.
It doesn't have that classic Coach look when you think of a Coach purse.
Well, it does actually. This is what classic Coach looks like.
Sorry.
Looks like
the average Coach purse, where it's like the whatever. When I think of Coach.
See, Crystal? See how much you learned from me? No, I'm just kidding. You already knew this stuff. She's like, I sold the same bag in black for $125 on Posh. Must be the price. But yeah, it wasn't a super large one. And again, black is actually even more popular because it just goes with everything. Not everybody wants a red bag. But it had some wear to it. But again, this sat in the bins, and it was in a picked over bin, no less. And I knew right away that it was real Coach when I picked it up. So
very, very nice. All right, next up, guys, I sold something on Grail. Woo! Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I didn't mean so much classic. I meant like the one that you've seen so much of in the last.
That's what they call it, the signature print.
Signature, yes, that's the one that's kind of like whatever. Anyway, this USC Trojans. Vicky just wrote me a note saying she has to pee. Go to the bathroom. Get out of here.
I'll be right back.
Here, I'm gonna show everybody her note. She had to I was like, why is she writing something down? You guys, apparently she didn't want you to know that she pees. But you know what? Everybody pees. So there you go. Anyways, I picked this up a while ago. I think I got this at yesterday's Fits, but I didn't pay more than like $5 or $10 for it. It's kind of worn. It's this awesome 80s USC Trojans varsity sailing shirt. And I did price this high because it's such a very specific thing. And it's one of those things where, you can find USC, this is like all funky. I picked the wrong thing. You can find USC stuff, sweatshirts, t-shirts, stuff like that, but specifically varsity sailing, like it's going to be a very niche market, but somebody is going to be willing to pay up for that. And so I just got an offer yesterday. Somebody offered $90 on Grail, and I was like, heck yeah, I'll take it. Which, by the way, Grail has switched to where it's kind of annoying, but whatever. It's sort of similar to Posh, where they are actually providing you with the labels. So it used to be that I would buy a label on, I think you had the choice. You could do either their labels or do your own. I would do my own label on the pirate ship, and then I upload the tracking. Now they are charging the people for shipping, and then they are providing you with a label, which I'm like, fine, whatever, I don't care. So they sold this for $90, and I was super, super happy. So, Lori has to pee. Well, there you go. There you go. Man, she must have had to pee real bad. She's been gone for a long time. Yes, Arlene. Hold on a second here. Yes, there is a Facebook group specifically for people attending the Boss Reseller Remix. So, I mean, you can search it. It's 2023 Boss Reseller Remix. Also, if you're on the website at resellerremix.com, the Facebook button at the top will take you to that group. You do have to have bought a ticket already to be able to be let into the group. So make sure you answer the questions on when you try to get in there. But that definitely is the group you want to be in if you are going, because that's where you can kind of like, get to know everybody and talk about ride shares and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah. What's up, Michelle? What's happening? By the way, I got this shirt at the bins. I'm pretty excited about it. My Friday the 13th, part 7. I got it, and I was gonna trade it into Buffalo Exchange, and then I was like, wait, why am I doing that? It's my size. I'm keeping it. How'd it go?
Listen, you guys are so rude. I had a big iced coffee right before we started the show. Jeez.
Yeah, part 500. Part 7. Okay, let's go back to the show. Whoops, I keep picking the wrong one. Next up for you, what you got?
This I've actually had for quite a while. I've probably had it for 2 years,
Jeez,
and I
look at
have
that
sold
background.
it twice. Okay, so the first time I paid $10 for this at Deseret about 2 years ago. The first time I sold it for $100 because I was looking for it just to take sales, and then the customer returned it because it didn't fit, relisted it, and this time it actually sold within a couple of months, and it sold for the price you see there, $180.
Wow.
So, I mean, listen, it was new with tags with a price tag on it of like, if you go down further, the price tag on it was like almost $500. It was an expensive suit.
I don't see a price.
Oh, it must have been on yeah,
It's cut
sorry,
off.
it's cut off. But anyway, it's like a $500 suit. So I don't normally pick up this brand. The only reason I did was because it was nice silk. It was like a silk shantung, and it was like a $500 price tag. But it's a really nice suit. If this were to fit you, the color is beautiful. It's like this eggplant purple. It's very nice. So
Very nice. All right, guys. So since I've been going back to the bins, I've been buying Nautica stuff. I'm bringing it back personally. The Ed Hardy
Just you.
stuff's back, and then I've been saying to Vicky, I'm going to keep buying Echo Unlimited in the hopes that I can make it come back. So I've bought like a couple of hoodies. This is the first one to sell. This Echo Unlimited zip up hoodie, Weekend Warrior. I sold it on Mercari for $58. It's a really cool, very heavy zip up hoodie.
Echo used to be a really nicely made brand.
Yeah, it's definitely good quality. Very heavy. Their hoodies are very heavy.
10 years ago, it was still selling well. Mm-hmm. So.
And so sold this one for $58. But I mean, it's heavy, so I probably paid a good $3 to $4 for it. But I managed to put this in a padded flat rate mailer. How do you feel about that? Are you impressed?
I am impressed.
Yeah.
You had to like roll that pretty tightly.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're correct, Alana. The all uppercase is vintage.
No, all lowercase is vintage.
I'm sorry. The other way around.
So all
I always mess
lowercase
it up.
is vintage, except there is a vintage something. Sorry, there's a Nautica, not Challenge. It's a different one, and that is all uppercase, even though it is vintage. So that's just to confuse you. That's just to make it harder. But overall, if it's all lowercase, it's vintage. And the uppercase is...
See, I always get it wrong too, Alana. I usually just ask Katie because I forget.
Yeah.
Unless it's very obviously vintage from other hints like style.
And
or
there's
whatever.
also the style of the boat. The vintage is like this much more bigger, much wider, more intricate like logo. And then the newer one is very simplified. All right, go ahead.
Whatever. This is just an example of something I picked up because of the style and not because of the name. Carol Little is just a basic women's like suit wear, inexpensive, mid-level line of clothing. Nothing special. You would never pick it up based on the name. It is not a bolo name. But I picked this up at the bins because it was very tiny, lightweight, this little cropped fitted jacket. Right now, this type of jacket or blazer is very, very popular again from the 80s and 90s. The girls are picking these up and they're wearing them with thrashed t-shirts or crop shirts or bralettes, like the lace bralettes, and putting this with a pair of jeans, something with a tight waist and a baggy leg, or baggy leg, wide leg pants or jeans again. And it's just kind of just to show you like what's coming up and what's being picked up right now. It's quilted. It's just got this funky pattern on it. So it sold very quickly for a vintage piece. It sold for $49 and it sold within about a week or two. And it's just picking up based on the, just keep an eye out for funky patterns and styles is all.
Yep, absolutely. All right, last one for me is my Poshmark sale. Guys, you know about Jesus tees. This is a Jesus hoodie. I picked this up at the bins. It's been a little while. It's been probably a couple of months. But it just says, know your worth, and then the T is the cross. I don't know what this is from. It says Soundtrack. I don't know what that means.
That could have been a Christian band or something.
Yeah, I had looked it up, couldn't find anything about it, but I'm like, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's just what it says, and having the cross on it automatically is going to make it appealing to somebody who wants to buy Christian stuff. And so I got an offer for $80. I think I had it listed at $100, and I was like, heck yeah, I will take it. And let me tell you guys, I officially am
She's officially a posh twat.
fully embracing my posh twatness. Because I love that it's just like a set amount that I'm paying for this, and I get the label, and I know exactly how much money I'm making, and they take the 20%, and that's it, and I'm good to go. So yeah, I'm loving it. The only thing that would make it better is if you got your money a little bit faster, but whatever.
That's like every platform.
Yep, pretty much.
Except eBay.
Yep. So that's it. I know I had one day where I was shipping out like 3 hoodies and 1 regular sweatshirt, and I think like 1 t-shirt, and I'm like, oh, we're pulling on up to fall. Here we go. Anyway, guys, let's get into the last part of our show, and then we'll draw the winner at the very end for the prize for the thrift off we had with Rally Roots. But speaking of goals, so we already talked about how, their last show, your goal was that you're going to go to Colorado, get 1,000 pounds. You failed miserably.
I failed miserably at the 1,000 pound. I'm such a failure. I went to Colorado.
Yeah.
I succeeded at that.
No, you got a lot of really good stuff though. You got a ton of awesome
I came home
dresses. You got some really cool like 70s shirts.
Amazing vintage stuff, honestly. I really did. I got amazing vintage stuff. Really, really good stuff. 40s all the way through Y2K. I picked up very little modern stuff. I did get a ton of linens and bedding, and everything is 49 cents a pound there as far as that. So when I add that to my shipping, it ends up working out to be very little more than what I would pick up here locally, as far as the by the pound stuff. Anyway, it was really awesome. So Veronica, I saw you in Colorado. Yes.
Hello,
it was nice to meet you. So we have, let's see.
What are you looking for?
I was going to say if you could pan this room a little bit, but you can't with the camera.
No.
To see all the linens in back of me.
We'll show everything.
If you look a little bit over my shoulder right here, that is a stack on the floor that is almost 4 feet high of linens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, checking out. That's right, Veronica. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me where I saw you. You're with your other friend, both in Colorado Springs. They were at the bins.
Awesome.
It was nice to meet you. And her friend, or was it, I don't know if it was you or your friend that walked up and said, "Is this you?" with a picture, from the boss group. I was like, "Oh, that doesn't happen to me outside of Vegas." So it was nice.
So while you were gone, did you get any listing done in the last 2 weeks?
So in the last 2 weeks, yes. So before I left on a Thursday, so I listed from Monday. I listed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I listed about 75 items in those 3 days. And then I left Thursday before dawn. So I was gone from Thursday until Monday night. I did not list at all. I came back on Tuesday, did a lot of shipping. I don't believe I did any listing on Tuesday at all. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today. So I've listed over 100 items since Wednesday.
Okay.
This week.
All right. So,
and that's just me. So
when we had our last show, so every week my goal is pretty much I want to list 50 items, and I know a lot of times I can do more than that, but that's kind of like my kind of mark of what I try to hit or exceed. And so when we did our last show 2 weeks ago, before Vicky left, I was able to get photographs of probably about 120 to about 140 items I photographed. And in the 2 weeks since we did our show last, I've listed all of those items. So I didn't go and count like between the last 2 weeks, but I did them all over the last 2 weeks. In fact, I was saying yesterday I need to do pictures, and Vicky was like, "Wait, I thought you had a bunch of stuff," and I'm like, "Nope, I listed it all already." So I
which
got
is
all
a
that
lot
stuff.
for her.
Yeah, so I got all
Mind
that
you,
stuff
we're
listed.
also working on all the stuff for the Reseller Remix. So especially just so you know, Katy does all of the website and all of the content on the website, all of the coding, all of the Instagram stuff, all of those posts, because Teresa and I are just not capable of doing that aspect of it.
And we don't have the budget to hire somebody. I would love to have somebody else do it, but that's
so
not
she's doing a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah.
and that's very time consuming, especially here towards the end. We're heading into the home stretch, and we've got a lot of work to do, several hours a day, every day, to get everything ready for you guys for the conference, to make sure it's well run and professional. Reseller conferences are no joke. It's a lot of work to put it together. We love doing it. It is definitely a labor of love. But it's a little bit difficult when it's just, we don't have staff, we're not eBay. We don't have a marketing team and a graphics team and a social media team.
That's me.
And Katy is all of those things.
But while you were gone, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I went to the bins every single day. So 5 days in a row, went to the bins every morning and was there for at least 2 hours every day. I did a video every day. And I tried to list, I think there were a couple of days I only listed 10 items, but most of the days I listed like 20 items each day. So I was like hitting it hard. I was getting up at 6:30 in the morning and not going to bed until like 11 or midnight. And working almost the entire time through that, which was a little bit ridiculous. And so, it was a lot. But so I did all that. And of course, we also have our goal of like doing at least 2 pre-recorded videos during the week. So obviously last week I did Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday videos came out. And then we haven't done anything since then. But then we have our video today. And then this week we will have a couple more videos that are going to come out. There's going to be our reactions to each other's finds. And then we're going to do at least one regular haul video this week. So that probably will be like one on Tuesday and maybe like Thursday or something like that. And so, of course, my goal is still going to be to list at least 50 items. I just took all my pictures today. I need to finish doing measurements. I'm going to list a few things before we go out and do some stuff tonight. But that's my goal. But I got to get to the bins tomorrow because I already, I think I've got like 50 items I just did. That's not even going to last me the week. So I need to already start sourcing for more stuff. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow.
My goal is at least 100 new listings this week, which is going to be more challenging because I have no lister, so I'll be doing it all myself. I have about 50 to 60 items photographed and ready to list that are hard goods and linens and, bags and shoes and things like that. So I should be able to get those thrown up there. But then I need to start taking photos of all of my new finds because that's all I have left. Yep. My back stock is just what I just bought, except for those 50 or 60 items that are ready to be listed. So,
who else has goals, guys? Put it in the chat.
Yeah, what kind of goals do you have?
Tell us if you're watching this after the fact, tell us in the comments below. We want to know what you're going to try to accomplish this next week. I know whenever we have different things going on, it's hard to keep up, but
we have a lot of stuff.
We hope by setting these goals, we can still manage. I mean, with me having my goal being 50, as long as I have the pictures for them, I mean, if I just sit and focus, I can do 10 listings in like about an hour. So it's not
that hard.
It's not like I need a full day. Like I can do other stuff and still hit that. It's just when, Vicky and I were talking yesterday after we did our taxes, and I'm like, man, my eBay was so terrible last year. And like, we really did not pay enough care and attention to our stores last year. And so we really want to do that differently because it does not take a full-time effort necessarily. I mean, clearly, because we got all this other stuff going on, that to at least maintain and keep bringing new stuff in. So we can do it.
We've got a lot to do. Like we have plans today. So as soon as we're done with this show or shortly after, we're going to the Greek festival. So Crystal, I don't know if you and Angela are free or not, but text me after today. If you want to come meet us at the Greek Fest. We're meeting Dana and a few other people. Monday, nothing, right? Monday, nothing but work. Tuesday we have plans with our friend Mandy Kennett, who is in town from Canada. Hey. Canada, she's a reseller friend of ours that we've met through eBay Open, and she's a member of the Boss Group, and she's here visiting Las Vegas, and we're going to hang out with her on Tuesday night for a little bit, and then Wednesday, we have dinner with the law firm that Katy volunteers with. Katy does some volunteer work with a local law firm that actually they were our lawyers turned friends, and now Katy works at the firm. We have a firm dinner. And then Thursday, I got to get my hair did.
Me too.
And then Saturday, we're going to Dashboard Confessional concert downtown.
Yeah.
With Carrie and Dawn, Lady Arbitrage and Retail Arbitrage, Carrie and Dawn.
Yep.
And
loving seeing all the goals, guys.
Lots of stuff. Lots of busy stuff.
By having really specific goals and making those things priorities, even when you have a bunch of other stuff going on, there's no reason that you can't make it happen. As long as you make sure those goals are actually attainable. Like, you don't need, we talked about this before, you don't need to have a crazy out there goal. It's like when you have your New Year's resolution, you're going to go back to the gym and you're going to hit it hard, and you go crazy for like a day or two, kill yourself.
And then you can't walk up and down the stairs.
Recover for like 2 weeks, and then you lose your momentum and you end up not going back to it. I feel like the same thing is true with any goals that you set. You want them to be attainable. You want to have to work for them, but you also need to be realistic about what you can actually accomplish while still pushing yourself a little more than what you would normally do.
Yeah, I'm looking at Heather's comment there. It says, I've been relisting things over 60 days old on Posh, and it's working well. Yeah, that's what I use my Posh bot for, the delist and relist, anything over 60 days. And also, I use that for on Macari for the same thing. It helps refresh your listings in a way that there's no other way to do that, really.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and draw our winner. And again, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we did a thrift challenge with Rally Roots a couple of weeks ago, and people had to come to our channel to vote, and you just had to comment to vote. And so we had over 235 comments. And so I went ahead, and I know now there's an easier way to do it. You got to use hashtags and all that stuff. I didn't do it. I'm dumb. And so I had to actually type up in a spreadsheet so we have the numbers and I can randomly draw that. I will say it was pretty obvious that Allie won. I think the game was rigged, but whatever.
It was their channel.
I'm kidding. Allie definitely won. I will say I gave her a run for her money. I think I definitely came in second. Vikki did have some.
I beg to differ. I think we tied for second.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I will say what is not up for debate is that Ryan was a really big loser.
Yeah, Ryan lost.
He got some votes. I'm not gonna lie. He got some votes.
To be fair, the people that watch our channel, they're more than 95% women.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
They're just not going to vote for Ryan.
Anyway.
As cute as he is.
No, but I think it was fair. I do think that you tried to sabotage me by picking the exact same flipping thing that I had picked. You're like, oh, she's going to win with that grandpa sweater. I would have another grandpa sweater to really confuse them. But anyway, Allie did win. So we're going to go ahead. Here, hold on a second. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to share. Hold on. No, wait. I messed up, guys. I messed up. What did I do? Oh, yeah, it's over there. Sorry. I didn't mess up. I'm just being dumb. Let's go over here. So we've got 234 names. So these are all the people who commented under that video, and they're all assigned to a number. And then we've got the random number generator going from 1 to 234. So if you win, if you're watching here, if you're watching after the fact, I will also put it in the comment, the pinned comment for that video. But if you are the one who's picked, I just need you to contact me, and then we will make sure you get your prize, which is a $25 eBay gift card. So let's go ahead and hit generate. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. There we go.
I'm ready.
Bam.
How come I didn't enter?
11. You don't get jack. All right. Who's got 11? Kimberly
Kalachi.
Kimberly Kalachi. I don't know if Kimberly is watching right now.
I think she's a Rally Roots watcher because I've never seen that name before, as opposed to someone from our channel.
Yeah, probably. But all right, so Kimberly Kalachi, I'll have to put a comment under her comment and make sure she knows, and hopefully she can get back to us.
If anybody knows who that is, by the way, please feel free to go ahead and give her a message or tag her on something so that she can see that she's a winner.
Yeah, well, I'll reply to her comment, so she will get a notification. But yes, that as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Like I said, we'll have a couple of videos up later this week, so please be on the lookout for that. And I'm loving all of the engagement we've been getting on our videos as of lately. I love seeing all the comments. I try to remember to ask questions and to get people to respond to specific things because we love the engagement. We love
the interaction is fun. I like to
really
see the
fun.
comments and see that people are actually paying attention and liking the content again. So thanks for that. I know that not everybody likes to sit through a 2-hour Sunday show. Our shows used to be an hour and a half to 2 hours every Sunday. And don't get me wrong, we had plenty of you guys sit and watch through them and love them, and we appreciate that. But this has made it a little bit easier for us to spread it out throughout the week, and especially easier chunks of content for people to digest. So
yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks, guys, and we will see you soon. Have a great rest of your weekend. And
hope you get those goals. Yeah. Hope you hit those goals.
Go!
See you next week.
Bye.